Hello everyone, and welcome to Jumper Man Tech, where we specialize in HVAC. We do everything DIY, and today we're doing a follow-up service call for a split system water source refrigerator. Thank you to everyone tuning in Jumper Man Tech. We got quite a mess here. So this box was frozen last time I saw it, and that's because somebody set the thermostat inside to 25 degrees. And for a standard refrigerator, you should be at somewhere between 35 and 40 degrees. Anyways, you guys know that water freezes at 32 degrees, so if you set it below that, you're gonna start seeing ice. So I think it was completely iced up. But here's another thing. Here's the defrost timer, and if you look here, you should have these little pins. So this thing, there's a defrost control here, but this thing actually never goes into defrost. So the thermostat is all jacked up. We're gonna upgrade from mechanical to digital. And I told them, you know, it might be time to upgrade this piece right here. Everything is just sitting loose. The connections look terrible. Look, you got this just hanging here. You got an extension cord just going in through the hole here. I mean, it's an absolute mess. And the power coming in here, look at this, it's just sitting like this, missing cover. And look at that, look at where this is coming in from. I mean, this is just an absolute disaster. We're gonna upgrade this control and fix up this wiring properly. Right now I got Christian picking up the parts right now while I set things up. So we have a couple of labels here. I'll take a picture of this diagram so you guys can see what's going on. The model number for this control is 6145-0. And it's made by Precision. So if we look here, what we have connected here is 1, which is power, line voltage. N is neutral. This is a 120 volt system, so 1 and N is going to be power, and the only other one is number 4. And that should be energizing our condensing unit. That's the only wires that are really here. But we need to see what's going on because power is coming in through here. Wait a minute. No, power, I turned the power off. Power goes through there into here, and then it's actually sending power up here with, oh man, the wire I just fell out. The power is off though. Somehow, who knows what they did. This whole thing looks like a hack. We're gonna get this thing in better shape. I have some wire markers made by Klein Tools, and pretty much I'm just gonna label the wires like you see here. I have like an N there, and that's gonna stand for neutral, so we know what goes where. I just wanna label all these wires before I pull them all out. Let's get started. All right, so this is a ground for the clock, wasn't being used. This green wire comes from here, and they're using that as a power wire. So I labeled these two as B. Goes to black. So this side is disconnected. And I just gotta take off this one. Or this might actually be going through thermostat, who the hell knows? This one actually might go to thermostat, whatever. We're just gonna put this back the same exact way. Just gotta loosen up this last wire. Okay, and basically this clock is, oh, is this a ring connector? Everything is all bunched up, but I have everything labeled. That's 1, so we know what's what. What you could do, which I'm not gonna do right now, is that this thing has already fell apart, but basically you could take out the guts of this thing and just change this. A lot of people do that, but this box, honestly, dirty already. It looks disgusting. We're gonna change it with the box. It's definitely about time. All right, I pulled all this stuff out. This thing didn't even have a ring on it. It's ridiculous what some people do. And this box is pretty loose. Let's take out these screws. How that holding, I don't know, but right there. Let's get that out of here. This box, definitely time to go. It's all dirty and it really doesn't look good, but look, we got this nice, it's the same control, it's just in black, and it honestly looks so much better. Same control, just different box. Here's that ground wire that it comes with. We'll connect it if there is even any ground here. But there's one screw here and one screw here. You take those off and then you can pull this out. It was actually missing on the other one, so it was actually just hanging in there. And these are those defrost pins that I'm talking about. This right here, you'll be able to put it where you want. So that's the time that it goes into defrost. This is the time that it's reading. And inside here, you can adjust this as well for how long you want the defrost. So these are the intervals. This is how long the defrost is going to be, and this is the time that it's reading. So let's start by taking off these two screws, pull this out so we can mount our box. Okay, right there. We could pull the guts out. Just put this here for now. There's the screws. And let's get this thing in place. We might be able to use the, I don't know, maybe they just got loose over time, but the anchors look like they're in there. This is kind of in my way. I hate to cut it off because it's like how you can hold it together. That's not working. Kind of got to snip it off so it can fit in place in that tight spot. We'll wire it. We'll hang it from the back. I'm gonna keep those two holes. Maybe use that one, but you know what? I'm just gonna put a hole here. I'm gonna use that as my third supporting anchor. Let's see, maybe we can use this new, oh right, wow, it's actually all in the same place. I want to see if it works. That's insane, that was lucky. All right, here's my box. I knocked out this hole for the BX coming in, and I'm gonna put in a BX coming out. I'm gonna put this here, so a straight connector, the way that it kind of was, except it wasn't tight. And then we're gonna elbow out of here. Let's see if this holds. Ooh, this is a tight spot. Kind of holds. Yeah, that holds. Oh, that's nice. Wow, that's easy. All right, well, I guess I don't have to put my own anchors. Yeah, this holds real well. Okay. Only thing is can I get this elbow out of here? Oof, I'd hate to move this a bit. There we go. And we're good to go there. All right, you know what we're gonna do? Let's put this onto the power wires coming in here through this side. So basically, when it comes to this, let's see, we got these two little screws here. Gonna fit that through here, because you can't have this thing like that. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So you just feed these wires through here, okay, and you tighten this down here, right there, and right here. Try to do it a bit evenly. Oh, my glove is caught. Now let's get it in there. Do it to where the BX is not sticking out too much. Tight. Tight. And then, what is all this stuff? And go through here, go inside. Get that in place. Then we could put the ring on and tighten down this ring. And that's pretty much how you make these connections. Basically gonna do the same principle here. And like that, it is in there. Measuring up the size BX I have. This is just an empty cable. Just gonna run some wires through it. Man, this one is really tough. Run some wires through it and hook it up here. Get rid of this crazy extension cord, man. I cut 3 wires instead of this BX. I labeled one without anything because we already know it's red, one blue, one white. I did on both edges, and I taped off over here and like that. Now I'm just gonna slowly feed this wire through this BX. You kind of want this as straight as possible, and just feed it through. As far as wire length, I used about 6 inches extra on each side, like 6 inches longer on one side of the BX and 6 inches longer on the other side, and like that. Should be about even. Just when you try to go through, instead of taping this a million ways, just try to put this in evenly. Okay, maybe getting close to the end, which we are. Let's see, you might be able to take a needle nose, kind of messing around with it. Might be able to take a needle nose and pull it out, but it's right there. Yeah, get a needle nose and pull it out. All right, got some wires here, and we got some wires here, and they're labeled so you know what's what. All right, I'm just gonna put some elbow connectors, 90-degree BX or Romex connectors on each end of this BX cable, and you might want to put an anti-short bushing in here. Just real quick, just to show you a quick technique, you might want to bend these, get these in, and like that, you're gonna get it in. Use anti-short bushing in between. All right, and tighten down these 2 screws. You're ready to go, and use this to tighten down at the box. All right, push that through, and then use this ring, then you can tighten it down. So let's get that in there, get that in place. There we go. Let me pull this through, and then we could use the knockout. Oh man, even here this thing is messed up. Pull this through so we can come inside, and look, there's wires here for this pressure control. Look at this thing. What a joke. That's the anti-short bushings I was talking about. But you're doing stuff like this is ridiculous. What a mess. Got a lot of things prepped. So we're gonna do this on top over here. You're gonna slide it underneath that 1 screw. That's gonna hold that in place. Okay. You're gonna line that up, and then you're gonna put back the 2 screws that I showed you guys earlier. Oh, is this big enough? I mean, it's small enough to fit? No. All right. Put this in, line this up, and we're gonna have to go with this flathead to get it back in there. Let's make sure that goes in the hole. Everything is lined up right there. And just tighten the 2 screws, and this thing will be in place. One will probably already get it enough to where it started, like that. All right guys, we're connected there, we're connected here. I put all my connections back, basically line, neutral, and number 4. Come in over here, much cleaner, and I redid this with a bunch of new stay-cons. Also, they're all new stay-cons over there to start all those connectors, and that's done through there, and everything is nice and wired up. Let's see if we can close up all these covers. All right, I think it's closed up. This is in, these are in, this is in. I even cleaned up a bit around here. You can see the difference in the back versus what's here. And this is all secure, that's all secure. This looks good. Let's just set the defrost. These are the defrost pins, and you're gonna set it up to which time you want it to defrost. So let's see, can I take it out? Just, nope. Let me get a screwdriver. See if this works. Nope, a little bit too big. Let's see. Go in here. I'll loosen that up, okay? Holding the camera with one hand. This one, you're gonna take out this pin. Right, that was at 4 p.m. We're gonna set this to when we want it to defrost. Over there it says midnight. So pretty much I'm just gonna spin this in and tighten it, and now it's gonna defrost at midnight. We want 2 defrosts here. Something typical, maybe it runs for 6 to 8 hours and it defrosts for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. It all depends on your application, but that's kind of what you want to see. Thing is, they only want this to defrost in the nighttime. All right, these are a little close to each other, but this is what they want: midnight and 4 a.m. If you turn this knob, you can switch the time. It's 11 a.m. now. So I'm gonna set up the time to 11 a.m. Right there, we are at 11 a.m. That's okay. The other 2 I'm just gonna keep on the side as spares. And that's pretty much it. That looks great. That right there is a huge difference. Honestly, it's much safer now and so much better. They're gonna have to do something about this one and some of these exposed wires. It's absolutely incredible. But anyways, that was awesome. I have videos of how this type of defrost clock works exactly, and I'm gonna leave that video link in this video's description, and you'll probably see it pop up as well. But we're gonna wrap this one up here. If anyone found this video interesting or helpful, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe, as I come out with new videos every week. And I'll catch you all next time.